Good morning. This is Bobby Dupre with the Bobby Dupre Show, presented to you each Thursday morning at 7 a.m. And of course, it replays in its entirety on Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. And still getting a lot of people that watch it on the Sunday. I guess they're working or just don't think about it, but on Sundays...
Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, quite Sunday afternoon. They get to watch the program, and of course, many of you are watching it on your computer, your iPhone, your cell phone, and your tablet, all kind of internet, in other words. And here's my sidekick, Mr. Andrew Guitros.
Well, good morning.
Good morning to you. We might want to start off by...
Well, I want to start off by looking at your shirt. 72nd Annual Bi-State Fishing Rodeo.
That was last year.
So it'd be 73 years that you've been going.
Well, now, I knew you were leading up to some no good.
That's not right?
Not quite, but been a part of it for many, many years. Actually, they used the red camp that I used to own. And on D'Arbonne Bay, a lot of people call it Catawba. On the south side of Highway 190, it's Catawba. On the north side, it's D'Arbonne Bay. Right. But anyhow, that was the central camp for many, many years, and I'm an honorary member from back in those days. And then now, to keep everything going, that we were needing members, they needed someone for partners and all, I've become a regular paying partner. And also try to be as active as I can. We've cut the numbers down, probably about 18 instead of about 25. The more people that are dedicated to attending on the Louisiana side in May, and then going over to Texas and participating on the Texas side, basically out of Crystal Beach. Most of the members are from the Beaumont, Texas area, just like most of our members are from the Opelousas area, but we have quite a few scattered all over Acadiana now. Sure. That originally might have been living here.
Connections here.
And that's correct. And like Terry Fontenot was a perfect example. Comes to my mind right away.
When I was a little kid at the big Gilbo camp down on Old Catawba, that was the same group?
That's the same group. In fact, it was Sheriff Gilbo was the sheriff on the Louisiana side that teamed up with the sheriff from Beaumont on the Texas side. And that was the beginning. And was held there for quite a while. And then Sheriff Gilbo's son, C.J., and his wife, Peggy, if my memory serves me correctly, they converted it into their home. And so they needed a place, and then it moved over to the Red Camp that by then I owned.
My dad had a camp across the waterway on the Scrants property, Scrants down there, you know, Cross and Emery and that whole group from that end. My dad had a camp out there, so I'd see them all out there. Didn't know who those folks were.
Yeah, they've got some pictures of some of the original gatherings. Very interesting. In fact, the book that Philip Andrepont and a few others are working on some of the historic happenings, history of the area, working on some of those pictures are being used in that, because like you said, this is 73 years, and in May the Texas side comes here, and on the July weekend that we attend, we go over to Crystal Beach and Port Bolivar. Actually, my partner now is Joe Ramey, who has been with it, been on the Texas side for many, many years, and actually they're using his camp now as the central camp on the Texas side.
That's all along your way. If you're going to Galveston and catch the ferry to go to Galveston, it's all on along the coast there.
Just before you get to the ferry, well, maybe 3 to 5 miles is where he's located, Port Bolivar. And then we cross, when we go fishing, I fish with Joe. We fish in the morning and we fish back in the afternoon. And we pass right by those ferries. That's the only way to get to Galveston is by ferry at that point. And unless you go all the way around to Houston and then come back through Kemah.
Through Kemah.
That's the Landry,
the Landry family,
Landry
big resort
Corporation that have really done a great job of developing a resort area.
So y'all fish in the morning, y'all fish in the afternoon, and then y'all go to Galveston to buy bait at night. That's what y'all do.
No, we don't fight. I don't. We've gone over after the fishing a few times just to take me over there, just to ride. But the traffic is too heavy during the summer months.
Oh, yeah,
you have to wait. You have to wait for sometime an hour.
How about some
And we don't have to
sponsors?
wait to go through Plaisance, where I'm from.
No, Plaisance is a little less traffic.
A little less traffic.
Well, you can take the business district loop, I guess, when you go to Plaisance. Dupree Lane and down to the Apple Orchard.
That's a big lane.
Well,
It
sure.
brings you right to the monastery.
And good morning. I saw the guys at the monastery last week. They had the little annual mass, and I went by. They had the rain was bad, so it kept the crowds down. They kind of low line there, and you got gravel roads. But I got to go and had a nice time down there. Piggly Wiggly. If you're heading down for your fishing rodeo and you need some meat to bring with you, you can stop at the Piggly Wiggly over here in town. They've got boneless beef rump roast at $2.99 a pound. That's the big Angus beef twin packs. They've got pork steaks, $1.69 a pound. They've got split fryers, $1.49 a pound. Spiral cut hams from John Morrell, $1.69, and prairie fresh pork spare ribs for $1.99. How can you go wrong? And don't forget, they got the Royal Oak charcoal. That's my favorite to use too, for $6 for the big old bag. Go and get all your stuff you need at the Piggly Wiggly.
It's a little bit more expensive, but it lasts better in the fire.
And a good flavor. Makes a good flavor. And one more sponsor. How about JB Sandals? The fishing rodeo is 73 years old, but JB Sandals goes back 135 years. Before those old fishermen went, they'd go to JB Sandals, to get their tools and everything they needed, their rubber boots, anything else they need for fishing. And this week, we had a knob came off one of the faucets over at the Sunrise Fast Cash here in Opelousas. And boy, I said, I don't know if we got to change the whole faucet or not. So I asked our good friend Mac Lejeune. I said, Mac, if you get a minute to come look. He looked, he says, I think just the knob. He said, I bet JB got those in stock. And he walked right, he said, I'm not even going to drive. Just walked down the block. He went, he came back with a pair of knobs. He said, I had to buy a pair. Then he put them on nice and neat and got us back in action in just a couple of minutes. JB Sandals, all those parts you need.
That's right.
Little things that you don't think about. Me, when I saw it, I said, well, you probably got to change the whole faucet and everything else. Nope, you change that nice and easy. They got the parts. You bring a part to them. They'll look at it. They'll let you buy. Like you said last week, you don't have to buy a gross of screws. You can buy a handful of screws or nails or whatever you're looking for, and home household type things as well. JB Sandals.
Wayne Doucette and his family, of course, operate from, I think it's Wednesday, starting at 4 o'clock till closing time, Wednesday through Saturday night. And the business is continually improving. It's growing. People are finding out it's a nice, quiet place to go and have a beer, have a drink, listen to some music. And, of course, there's entertainment. Generally on Friday nights, they have a DJ playing. And then some Saturday nights, they have a band playing. And, of course, they also have the reception center, which is a fine place to host your next party that you might be giving for your company, or it might be a class reunion, or it might be just a family reunion. Whatever the reason is, and there's also a complete nice kitchen that goes in with the rental of that, so you can work out the whole thing and probably end up saving quite a bit of money, because even if you don't cook, you can warm everything up there. Sure. The nice large kitchen facility. So just remember that for your next and then, of course, if you can't get a hold of Wayne, you can get a hold of Toby Veltant Doherty.
And remember, they're going to have a First Friday supper. We'll let you know when the next one's happening. They just had one last week, and the next one will be in the coming month. As we know about it, we'll let you know.
We want to talk a little bit about Toronto Blue Jays baseball. And the reason we want to talk about it is Joe Fred has asked us to talk about it, and that's good enough reason, right?
Sure.
And his grandson, Cy, was accepted to work out for 4 days with the new signees with the Blue Jays. And that's at their training camp near Tampa, Florida. And the main person that Joe and them worked with and worked, I guess, through was Sal Fasano. And he's the roving catching instructor for the Toronto Blue Jays. He was a heck of a Major League Baseball catcher himself, and it appears that Cy is a catcher. And of course, you can't go wrong when you can go and work with the team. And there's pictures here where he's dressed up in the team uniform. And of course, all of this, you wonder how this came about. Well, Coach Mel Didier, who was my coach my senior year in football, and then of course had Joe Fred and his group all 4 years of their high school schooling. I think he was there all year. He had left for a little short period, but most of the time, Coach Mel Didier, and he has stayed in touch with us. I have that good picture taken in my outdoor kitchen a few years ago, and quite a few of those are not with us anymore, so we need to look at that picture. But Coach Mel Didier, even he's approximately 85 years old, he's still out there as a successful scout, pitching scout. And that's kind of a record in itself. Why don't you show a few pictures?
More pictures. I got Joe Fred with Sal right here.
Right.
And then we got the young man's mama, Miss Nina Bryson, Gottschall Bryson.
Yep.
And Joe Fred's oldest child.
And had gone with Joe Fred and her son, of course. And then, did you show her son?
I did. Started with him.
Oh, you started with him. Okay, good.
You got him too.
Good. And Joe said that they really, I mean, they dress out. He dressed out in the same room as the Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, it was a real experience that he'll never forget, and hopefully bring him to another level in his baseball. I understand he's a good player.
I think they're in Atlanta this week watching the Braves play and all the stuff going on with them. So they're active.
And while we're talking about some baseball, we don't talk about baseball very often, but Joe Fred, thank you very much for bringing this to our attention. And of course, as a partner, I can certainly call on him anytime, and he'll do what he can to help not just me, but anybody. He helps everybody. The home run contest was held that would have been Monday night, home run. And it was won by a young player. I think he's 23 years old. He didn't qualify, or he was not chosen to participate in the All-Star game, which was held last night, which was won by the American League.
But he's known for being a big hitter.
Yeah, known for being a big hitter. But he's the first one that won the baseball home run derby and did not get nominated to play in the All-Star. He's the first one. There's others that have had similar instances, but they didn't win the home run. He's the first one that won the home run and didn't get to play in it. And he seems to be the type of fella that accepted that well. This is only his second year in the majors. He's from Cuba, speaks little or no English, and everybody liked him. They liked him. He's got that little personality. He's not a show-off or anything like that. And we're going to
take the first quarter's over. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and folks, we'll see y'all on the other side of one.